instead of seashells. These waves are dredging up old clothes and dumping them along the beach for hundreds of meters. These thousands of items once worn by Westerners end their lives here, polluting Ghana's coastline. It's also a problem in Accra, the capital. This is a small mountain of textiles which sprouted up over the past 15 years. At 20 meters high, it's an eyesore that continues to grow.
Look at all this. We don't need it. It doesn't have use.
Among the debris are well-known European and American brands.
This is jean trouser, Boss company. This is another jeans trouser.
This is what we are all looking at, and we are burning it. All the time we are burning it, but still, the boiler is too much for us. It's giving us sickness, fever, headache, and much other things.
The smoke from these fires is toxic, although no studies have been conducted here to find out how toxic. Every day, ships bring another 160 tons of old clothes into the country. Clothes that were donated to charities in Europe or the United States, but which were unwanted in developed countries. This is where international recycling companies then send the clothes onto the Cantamonto market, where they're resold for the equivalent of a few centimes per kilo.
We are buying second-hand clothes. We sell it. Yeah, so that's why we are here. Dubai, London, and Canada. Yeah.
An entire economy has blossomed around second-hand clothes. At the top of the food chain are the wholesalers.
Children's dress, you can see, babies ramping medium. This is the men underwear. Big business I'm talking of. Can't you see the shop? It's very big. And we normally offload our goods a month twice or thrice.
Next, the clothes are sorted and sold by smaller vendors, and each one has their speciality, such as shoes or lingerie. But very few items of clothing are actually in a fit state to be sold on and worn. This market seller has just bought 55 kilos of clothes, but it's a disappointment.
Trash. That's trash. Nobody's buying this one. So something like this, we can't sell it. It's very bad. Nobody buys it. And at the end of the day, you lose.
As a result, mountains of unsellable clothes head to the dump. More than 70 tons are thrown away every day at this market, an ecological disaster. One NGO is trying to better understand the full environmental impact of this textile pollution.
You can see that the clothing is embedded in the environment, so it's creating an environmental catastrophe where to pull this stuff out of the sand is nearly impossible. Take many, many, many more years for that to degrade and release harmful microfibers and toxins into the environment in that process.
The former New York stylist turned eco-activist says she blames Western fashion brands.
What people need to understand is that what you're seeing here on the coastline is making visible a problem that's in your own closet. And so we need to take more responsibility and change our consumption habits. Fashion items have increasingly short lifespans. The equivalent of 50 billion t-shirts are thrown away every year. 1 in 8 will end up on an African beach or a dump like this one.